Welcome to a long anticipated tutorial on SolidWorks for our little projects. Today we're going to be having a look at how to create a spring. I'm going to do this by opening a sketch on the top plane. Now a spring is defined in a number of different ways. I think that the easiest way for us to define the spring would be by the overall height of the spring and the pitch. And the pitch is the distance between two coils in a spring. So more on this in a minute or so. But what I'm doing here is I'm just creating a fully defined circle, which is going to create the basis for our spring, and I'm going to create it 50 millimeters. Because the ones on our RC cars aren't 50 millimeters, and I want to try and avoid people just copying this tutorial. So now I've done this, I can go to features and over to curves. The little drop down box will give me the option to do a helix and spiral. So I select helix and spiral, and if I just angle this round, you can start to see this yellow preview is giving us what the spring is going to look like. So here's where I'm defining the helix by. I'm defining it by the pitch and revolution, which you would say, for example, it has a pitch of 50 millimeters and 1 revolution. If I change that to 2 revolutions, it would double the height of this spring. 2. If I press return, it's doubling the height of the spring because it's going to be 50 millimeters from there to there. And I want that to happen twice. That's essentially what it means, defining by pitch and revolution. You can define it by the height in the revolution. So for example, the height may be 100, and if I wanted 50 revolutions in there, it would give me a pitch of 2 millimeters. So between two of these little coils will be 2 millimeters. I want to define it by the height and the pitch, which I just think is the easiest one. If we had it at a height of 100 and between the coils was 10 millimeters, it's going to give us this spring looking sketch. Now to create a spring, we're going to use a feature which is called the swept boss base feature, which is here. For the swept boss base feature, we need a profile. Now what it's going to do is, when we create a profile, it's going to extrude that profile along this path. So instead of just extruding in a straight line like on extruded boss base, or extruding around an axis on a revolve boss base, we are going to sweep it along this path. So we need to sketch in the profile of what we want to do, and for the spring it's just a circle. So because I started on the top plane and I want to draw on the front plane, if I press Ctrl and 8, it's going to take me to the normal 2 view, and I'm going to just draw anywhere just a little circle. I'm going to smart dimension this, and I'm going to have this to be 3 millimeters. What's important when you're doing this is the relation that you give it, selecting the center of the circle, pressing and holding Control, selecting your path. Now I want this to have a pierce relation. It's gone fully defined, it's right on the end, it's no problem. It's important now to exit the sketch. Go to features, go to the swept boss base, and what it's asking for here is the profile. Now it's already selected the circle because that was the last sketch that we drew, and if that's not selected, if I just remove that, all you need to do is click this box and click your sketch. Now it's asking for the path, which is our helix, and it's going to come up with a yellow preview on how to on what it's going to look like. Sometimes on the machines in HE10, it's got there's 3 boxes just underneath where it says helix spiral 1 here, and that's just on the direction. Generally you'll select the middle box of those 3, but it's not showing on my screen at the moment. So if there's 3 boxes, just select the middle one, it'll say bi-directional in there, then press the green tick. So here we have a spring, the helix is still showing there I'm going to click Helix, press the little hide button there. So all I've done is select Helix, press hide. Now we have a little spring. Now it's not as you would see it on the RC cars, because the RC car springs, they have a variable pitch. Now I'm going to give you a small demonstration on variable pitch. So opening a sketch on the top plane, I'm going to draw my 50mm circle and I'm going to smart dimension it. Features, helix and spiral. You can also drag this. Oh no, you can't. So select helix and spiral, and then this is our spring. If I want a variable pitch, it's going to give me the parameters at different heights. So H is for height, P is for pitch, dia is for diameter, and this is revolutions. Now revolutions is slightly greyed out because you're defining by height and pitch. So if I were to change this height to 10mm and I wanted the pitch to be 3mm, I need to change that one to 3mm as well. And then if I went up to 20 at 10mm, then 70mm at 10mm. Then when we get to 80, we start turning it back down to 3, 100, 3. When I press OK, you can see it hasn't worked as well as I'd liked it to do. I think I maybe should have gone from 20 to 80 and then back again, but you can start to see that when I now open a sketch on the front plane, just like we did before, and I draw our small circle, smart dimension that, give it a Pierce relation, exit the sketch, sweep boss base, sweep along there, press OK, you can start to see that it tightens up at the top. Now this is going to require you playing around with it to get it the same as your RC car springs, but for all intents and purposes that's how it looks.